You just assaulted me. And now you're coming at me again. This is a stand your ground state.
Okay.
And you have no authority to touch anybody. Do not touch my phone.
I'm not touching you. I'm not touching your phone.
You grabbed my phone.
I'm not touching you, and I'm not touching
you. You grabbed my phone. You're harassing me. You're stalking me for a constitutionally protected activity.
Okay.
Engaging in or encouraging disruptive behavior of any kind. Engaging in or encouraging non-commercial expressive activity without the prior written permission of the general manager of the center.
With value amounts, it used to be anything under $50 was just a ticket. Well, the legislator passed now anything under $100 is a ticket.
Okay.
So like a lot of times we get people who shoplift in the stores, you know, there's still some cases. Yeah, there's still, you know, CDs or DVDs or, you know, whatnot.
Right.
And is it okay to eat on camera?
Do what you want. I mean, you're
just don't post me eating online.
You know what? I'll turn it off. Well, I want to hear the volume.
At least the audio,
but I'll point it towards me. Actually, is what I'll do. Here, let me restart it.
Still, you know, just weird. Intentional. You know, all we can do is write them a ticket. But if you can show multiple, then you know if you can get previous steps on people, then they can be enhanced to arrestable charges as well. But you know, a lot of times you'll get, for security guards, for instance, you'll get them stealing beer at HEB and running out, and the security guard trying to stop them. They'll push the security guard over. Now that's become robbery.
Different. Yeah.
That's become robbery.
Yeah.
So you went from
now
a
you're
ticket
getting a assault
to a
while
felony.
you're committing a theft. Yeah.
But no,
As long as he really did push the security guard, and the security guard isn't just lying.
yeah. Well, thank goodness we have a lot of video.
Yeah.
Videos.
If you check it out. But here's my thinking on the whole thing. It may seem petty to check for fingerprints and to really try and find that person right away. And it may seem like wasted resources, but in fact, if you don't catch him right away and he keeps doing it, what happens is he gets emboldened. And they think that even if they do get caught, they think, well, I got away with it 50 times and I got caught once. Okay, so I'm not that dumb, right? But I need to get a little smarter is what they start thinking. And then plus, when you catch them, then it's a much bigger crime than when it was at first. And that's assuming nobody's gotten hurt from escalation, right? Because the more you keep doing a thing like that, right? Like I did hear about one that happened at the gas station where somebody ran out with a case of beer, and then an officer walked in. I'm not sure what officer it was, but came in, and the guy working was like, oh, can you stop that guy that just stole that beer? And the guy backed out and hit a truck. Okay, so see, now there's another victim, right? And damaged property too, you know? And
Right over here.
yeah, do you know about that? Do you know who that was? Because I'd love to hear that story from that officer. That's a feel-good moment, you know what I mean?
Because they caught the guy, right?
Yeah, they caught the guy. That's a real crime.
Right. Yeah.
I mean, I'd be your best friend if you guys were solving the real crimes and leaving the people alone. I'm really not against it.
Well, they're there are a lot of us out there who do a lot of good things.
I'm not saying, no.
I mean, I just want you
Every
to.
officer does a lot of good things, right? And MS-13 does a lot of good things too. Okay, they're very popular in their local communities for a reason, because they help the poor and they feed the homeless, right? And that's all gangs do that. You know what I mean? And I'm not saying you don't do anything good. I'm not saying you never solve any crimes, because of course you do. That's absurd. The jails have plenty of criminals, hardened criminals in there, you know? They're hurting people, like really hurting, murderers and rapists. You know, those are real crimes, right? And there's plenty of those. There's so many. Like, I mean, that's stealing a case of beer from the gas station. I mean, that's a real crime. And are you following my point here though about that by not catching them early when you could have, because like they're so stupid. You know, they leave prints. I mean, they have to open the door to the beer cooler to grab the beer. They have to open the front door. You know, so you know there's prints, right? In schools, like a lot of them are kids, you know, especially when they're stealing a tobacco. You pretty much know that they're under 18, which means that they're in school, which means they don't have any rights, which means you can go to the school and you've got their picture. I mean, it's pretty easy to look at a yearbook and figure out who it is, you know.
And plus, kids talk.
Yeah, kids talk.
And now the schools have the Crime Stop rewards. You know, they'll pay them $200 for a crime leading to an arrest. Those kids will.
Is that right?
Yeah.
Only for kids?
Well, it's a school program. It's put on by the
Only
sheriff's
the kids
department.
get paid?
Yeah.
I mean, okay. It's not for adults?
No,
Oh,
yeah,
damn it.
yeah.
I'd
The
be
kids
like-
will get. but to answer your question, with that out there, I believe it was Lieutenant Rayleigh who made that arrest.
Was it?
Yeah.
Oh, that's so awesome. Okay. I don't know every officer, although I've met quite a few of you guys. How many are there?
We have 86 sworn
Okay, I probably only met
from
half.
the police chief down,
Yeah. I haven't met any high command, nothing over a lieutenant.
and I think we have 7 guys in training right now.
That was the thing. It was Officer Earnshot and Ernesto.
I think that's it.
Yeah, and Earnshot was training Ernesto, but Earnshot's not an FTO, but nevertheless, he was training them. And so I did a pop quiz on 3802, and they failed hard, right? Saying that you only have to be detained to get an ID, you know. And then they wanted to cover it up and like run. And then I went and I found Sergeant Roby with 3 others. There was Graves and I forget the others' names, but nevertheless, I went over that again. They were the ones that were surrounding this girl on the sidewalk, 4 of them. You know, surrounding a girl. That's extremely scary. Like, this girl was scared out of her mind. You know what I mean? Like, that looked really bad. They let her go. Like, I don't know what they stopped her for, but I mean, that's really heavy presence, right? Like,
Yeah, I wouldn't know what the call was.
No, I don't know what the call was. I'm just saying
Or why they were there.
If it was me, I probably would have been a little nervous. You know what I mean? Having 4 guys with guns standing around me. And,
Was one of them an FTO?
Well, there was Sergeant Roby. So there must have been an FTO or a trainer at some point, because there's only 3 cars and 4 officers. So I know there was 2 in 1 car, which was unusual. They might have been doing some training thing, you know, but I mean, I'm just saying from the opposite perspective,
Oh, of course.
like what it looks like and how, like how
What the public
scary
sees.
that'll be, you know, if you're actually the one in it, you know. She was scared, but I mean, and then yeah, Officer Ryan, he's under White, right?
He's what?
He's under Lieutenant White,
no.
I think.
Officer Ryan's actually under Lieutenant Grass.
Oh no, his sergeant was Weston though.
Yes.
Yeah,
yes.
Weston's really cool. I like that.
Yeah. So my shift and Weston and like me and Rayleigh work together.
Uh-huh.
Weston and Grass work together,
Okay.
and they're the ones we just swap with. We're on the same rotation.
Uh huh.
So the days that I work, they work the same nights.
All right.
So if you see
Yeah.
me, Rayleigh,
Oh, they work the same nights as you?
Yeah.
Oh, wow. How many guys do you have all at once? Because I met.
Well, I'm on day shift now. They do the night shift.
Oh yeah, you
Yeah.
guys switched. But you just said you're. No, he just switched.
Yeah, they just switch from days to nights. Now they work night shift.
Oh, they work the same day as you though.
Right,
But
right.
I see. They
Yeah.
work at night. You work
And-
in day.
yes.
Okay, I see. So if I see them, I know you were there in the daytime.
Yes, or if you see me
Okay.
during the day, they'll be there that night.
Okay.
Yeah.
I usually don't really see a lot of things in the day because I'm here. You know what I mean? But most of my films are at night. But I do have some in the daytime, which sucks because it's better video in the day.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I can actually see people. But that's why I get a lot of interviews at the gas station.
Oh, at night.
Yeah,
Yeah.
in the light. Follow-ups, you know. Ryan was cool. That video is actually kind of funny because I was talking about the 3802 with him too,
And as soon as I brought it up, he was like with me, and then I brought it up, and I was like, you know what it is, right? And he's like, yeah. And I was like, so what is it? And he's like, can you go over there? And I'm like, or no, he's like, I'm not going to get into semantics. And I'm like, no, it's just one sentence. We both know it's just one sentence. It's really easy and clear. And he's like, I'm not going to be questions on the side of the road. And I'm like, you're spending twice as much time avoiding the question than just answering it. And then he's like, how about you just go over there? And I'm like, no, because he invited me over there in the first place. And it wasn't really a stop. There was an abandoned car right there across the street on the side of the road. And so it wasn't like a real stop, And he invited me over there in the first place. So once I was there, I was free to, if I'm free to go, I'm free to stay, I figured. We battled for a minute, but then we were cool.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Yeah. Yeah. I mean, usually like it's kind of standard procedure to give orders, like when if you sense your control being lost, and I can understand that because as an officer, which I've never been, but nevertheless, control is very important, right? When you lose your control, bad things can happen,
Yeah.
And so like give an order and get that control back, but when you do give an order and it doesn't, and you can't like back it up, then it does more damage.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? It does a lot more damage.
That's why you have to be sure when you give an order
That it's real.
that you can lawfully follow through with.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, you can always put cuffs on somebody, but I mean, whether or not 4 years down the road you're gonna be in trouble over it.
Yeah.
I mean, but I haven't seen any of that from Georgetown PD. None of that.
Yeah.
It's been pretty good. The only one that threatened me with arrest was Deputy Pence with the sheriffs.
See,
He wears the green pants. He's on the SWAT team.
Yeah, I'm not very familiar with the sheriff's department anymore. A long time ago, we used to know him a lot more, but
There's like 500 of them.
yeah, it's just changed so much. I know whenever the new sheriff Chody came over, I believe he brought a lot of Austin police officers with him to work here.
Oh yeah.
So I don't know who works here. Doesn't work here anymore. Just a very select few.
I haven't met the sheriff, but I did meet the deputy chief the other day. And you know what? How we've talked about like the people, right?
Right.
In persons.
Merry Christmas.
And he was right there with me. And the whole time he's like, I mean, that guy knows. You know what I mean? I
What was
was
his
really
name?
shocked. Riley, but it was Ryle. So it might have been Ryle. I might be pronouncing it wrong, but I've met the one of the assistant chiefs, Fickock, who was also right there with me, but he didn't really know about it already. But he left with a lot to think about, and he was really cool. Like he watched one of my videos and saw what his officer did and was like, you can bet that I'm gonna have a talk with him. And he did. He did. I know he did. And I mean, I was flabbergasted. I really was, because I haven't had these kind of good experiences in other cities. I really haven't. Like, usually, you're like, oh, I have this video. Oh, I'll watch it on the body cam. Right?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, the body cam's going to show him. No, it's not. Right? There's two perspectives to everything, I'd love to see some of the body cams, but they're a pain in the ass to get.
Yeah.
I could get them.
Yeah. I know in the past, if someone has filed a complaint, I've seen it before, that if someone has filed a complaint on an officer, the chief or the captain, or sometimes even lieutenant, depending on the severity of the complaint, will actually let the person filing the complaint come in and watch the video with them.
Well, technically, you can file an open records request for inspection on anything, and not actually getting the copy, but where you can see it. And you do have to provide it in a form,
Right.
So whether it's like, sometimes you might have to bring out a laptop and play it, and then I can record it like while it's being played. You know what I mean? But that, again, you kind of got to kick a department's butt into doing that, because they don't usually like to do that. They want to charge you a fee like for it, right? They'll give you a copy of it on a disc for like $5 or something like that, but that adds up. And I don't even do open records requests because I just don't live my life like that.
Right.
You know, I don't go out of my way at all, right? Like, if I see you, I will film you. But if I'm not going to go hunt you down, you know, that's ridiculous, I think. Like, there's plenty of things going on right in front of my face. You know, I don't need to go make the news or find the news.
It just happens.
It just happens, right? Like, I mean, some of the most interesting videos I have were nothing until, like, the security guard puts hands on me. Or, you know, that one with Ryan.
I don't know where.
No, here.
I mean, it just comes out of nowhere.
Yeah,
Something
it comes
just
out of
happens.
nowhere, right? Like my first video that's on my channel. Have you seen any of my videos?
I've gone and watched a few. Yeah.
Do you think they're funny at all, or what? What do you think?
Well, I don't want to say they're funny. I don't want to insult you that way.
You don't
but-
think they're funny?
Yeah,
I
mean,
thought
they're
I was
very-
trying to be funny.
No, they're very entertaining. I mean,
Okay,
yeah,
yeah.
it's good. I mean, it's good stuff.
They're different than
Yeah.
most other videos, yeah? Because,
Yeah.
like, I have, I mean...
I mean, the editing, as far as the commentary as it
Yeah.
goes on, I can see how it can help people track and follow instead of just watching the entire thing and then just having comments on it.
Yeah, my editing sucks. I mean, like, going from one clip to another, it's really sharp, but I'm not an editor, but... You know, I'm trying to have more of a complete
I love the
story.
Amazonian one, by the way.
The Amazonian one?
That made me laugh.
I think that was really messed up,
Yeah.
what she said. I put that in 2 videos. From both, first the stop, and then just like showing her say that, and then going in. I don't know which one you watched. Lieutenant Rayleigh commented on that one too.
Did he?
He said it was funny because I said I'm going into the gang lair. You know. No, I'm glad you think they're funny. I mean, you don't have to agree with everything I say, you know, but like, I'm not calling you guys names and stuff. You know, there's a lot of videos out there where they do that.
Yeah,
You know, I don't really like that, even though it's our right to do that, but I don't see the point.
Yeah, there's a group of guys. I can't remember their name. I don't know what they call themselves, but I've seen a lot of their videos, and they do a lot of traveling in Texas, and they'll show up to police departments.
They do audits.
Audits, yeah.
Yeah, I don't do audits.
And what they'll usually what the first thing they always say is, I want to file a complaint on an officer. How do I do it?
Mm-hmm.
And 9 times out of 10, the officer, first thing they say, well, let me see your ID.
Big mistake. Yeah.
And they're like, no, I'm not going to show you my ID. I haven't committed a crime. And then it just absolutely goes downhill.
Yeah,
It does.
absolutely. Well,
And-
Batosai is legendary. He lives around here. I'm not going to say what city, but he's an expert on the complaint process. That's his thing. Is he always goes in. He's a black guy, and he has the famous case Turner versus Driver. That's
Really?
Michael Turner, the Batosai, and he does that. And he was arrested in Austin filming outside of a police station by Lieutenant Driver. Well, he wasn't arrested. He was put in the car, a hot car, for 40 minutes, I think, with the windows up, which is basically torture in summer of Texas, you know.
Yeah.
That is torture for filming outside. But they did let him go. Like, the lieutenant's superior came out and let him go. But he lost his case, but it set precedent because the Fifth Circuit said that it can't even be considered suspicious activity to be filming a police station, right? So it can't even be used as a reason for a stop anymore, right? That's big, you know. But he lost his case, like, as far as he was trying to sue the lieutenant personally, and now he could, but before he couldn't, you know. So that was nice of him to take it through. See, I wouldn't do something like that.
Yeah, there's 2 guys that do it, and like I said, I can't remember their name, but they've actually came to Georgetown when no one was at the station, because they come at night, and no one was at the station, so they film the PD. They like to film the cars and the PD, and then they leave, but no one was there. But I know there's been some departments that they'll show up to and say, I want to file a complaint,
Sergeant won't ask no questions. Just gives, here's a complaint form. Whenever you have it filled out, you can mail it or drop it back off.
Yeah.
Anything else I can do for you? And then
they publish those too.
yeah.
They don't get very many views, but they do publish them. So I can say that about them. Yeah, no, I mean, I think I know who you're talking about. I mean, there's a lot of auditors. I don't do audits. I'm against that entire word. You'll see in Cedar Park, because as you can tell, all those videos are old now, but the next is coming up when I went to City Hall. And the police always respected my right to film in that town, but not all government employees know what's up, right? So City Hall, I went there twice, and they called the police on me both times for filming. But the problem I had with the police was that they stood there for 30 minutes, right, and insisted on being there the whole time, when technically speaking, I'm not supposed to have to talk to a police officer ever, right? So if I'm doing business at City Hall, I shouldn't have a mediator of the police, right? Because what happened to my right not to answer any questions? You know what I mean? I should just be able to talk to City Hall. But my questions were about the Constitution, and I wanted to know what branch of government they were, and they didn't know. And that's when she called the police, because she didn't know if they were the executive or the legislative branch, right? Seems like a simple question to me. But it's complicated, because what do you call it? There's the mayor and then the city council.
City council.
The city council legislates, but the mayor is like executive, right? So where it gets confusing is, does the mayor have a vote on legislation? Because, usually the mayor appoints the police chief, but in that town, the mayor appoints the city manager, and then all the council appoints the city manager, which seemed to me like a conflict, because if they're making the laws and executing the laws, then that's a conflict, right? They didn't want to get down to the bottom of it. They called the police right away, twice. They didn't learn their lesson the first time. And the officers were really one of them was cool, but had a brain.
Press on.
Master by the name of Bates, smoking more than all 50 states combined. Yeah, right, I gotta stay on the grind. I got no money, so my weed's on my mind. I hit the club, but I can't dance. 7 and 7 in my cutoff chance. Tie that shirt in my long ass hair. What part of how I look makes you think I care?